We do have, so we're gonna have we have a quick special called meeting, but we also have our principal presentation, so I want to make sure everybody sticks around for those. We're hearing from Burns, Zucker, and...
Kate.
Because we're running so late, and
Yep,
you have a busy day tomorrow. All of you have a busy day tomorrow. We
I do.
asked the principals to come back in either July or August because we got such a late start. It's going to hold you up today, and we want everyone to enjoy this presentation.
Okay, well, I apologize. I wonder why those people left, but John's still here, so John, you're doing great work. Thank you.
Don't stop.
Okay, so we're gonna call the special call meeting for June 11th to order. And the items we have are mainly from executive session. We have 2 items from our discussion today. So the first item is a contractual matter that we just...
The lease?
Yep, that's the lease.
Move to approve the extension.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Mr. Garrett and a second from Mr. Stobbs to approve the lease that we discussed. Do we have any questions? All right, Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Stobbs?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Reverend Mack?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion passes.
Madam Chair,
Mhm.
can we say what we just approved, since now it's actual action? It's the extension of the lease for James Island Charter High School.
Were you asking her to do?
Well, since Natalie
You
didn't
tell me,
answer,
you tell me.
hopefully we can.
No, Cindy, you can't do that.
Once you vote, you get to say it.
Okay, so the next...
I'll move to approve the mediator list.
Oh, not yet there.
That's
So the
out.
next item is, we have an out-of-county request to remain at a school.
So, I make a motion that we allow the request if the family pays the tuition required of all other out-of-county families.
Okay, so we have a motion from Ms. Coates and a second from Ms. Jeffrey. Do we have any questions? All right, Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Stobbs?
Yes.
Reverend Mack?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion passes. The next item is the list of hearing officers for the next school year.
Motion to accept the list of hearing officers.
So we have a motion from Mr. Stobbs and a second from Ms. Jeffrey to approve the hearing officers. Do we have any questions? All right, Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Stobbs?
Yes.
Reverend Mack?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion passes. The next item is a legal matter that we just...
Make a motion to move forward with options presented in executive session pursuant to legal advice received.
All right, so
Second.
have a motion from Mr. Garrett and a second from Ms. Coates. Does anybody have any questions? Ms. Coates?
Yeah, we'll need to make sure that I capture that exactly. I vote yes.
I'm getting clear to
Okay.
that, Todd.
Mr. Garrett?
Legally clear. According to that.
He is
Mr.
legally
Garrett,
clear.
how do you
See, he
vote?
keeps
Yes,
looking
I'm
over there,
sorry.
make sure.
Let's do that.
Ms. Jeffrey, how do you
Yeah.
vote? Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Stobbs?
Yes.
Reverend Mack?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion passes. The next item is the Head Start,
Move to approve the cost of living request
Application.
application.
okay.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion from Mr. Garrett and a second from Ms. Coates. Any questions? Ms. Coates, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Stobbs?
Yes.
Reverend Mack?
Yes.
And I vote yes, the motion passes. And the last one is the budget.
Approve.
Second.
All right, so we're moving to approve the budget, the budget reallocation for Dunston. So Mr. Miller and a second for Mr. Garrett. Any questions? All right, Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes.
Ms. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Yes.
Mr. Stobbs?
Yes.
Reverend Mack?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, any other items? Dr. Postaway?
Thank you. This would not be an official item in special call meeting because it's not on the agenda, but I was left not quite knowing where to take the superintendent's evaluation. So here's what I'd like to propose. The evaluation that you're working on is for 2019-20.
Right.
And so for this coming year, I'm suggesting that for the July committee of the whole meeting, I take that policy template that you have, take those outcomes, put them together and say, let's try this for this coming year. Let's look at those 10 strategies, the 10 goals. Take the outcomes from that other document that fit under each goal. Talk about the really important things we have to do to change the system to get the things done, so that you can either expect progress in the outcomes or expect to see some substantial progress in building the system to get the outcome. So I'm suggesting I do that for July. Let's try something for this coming year, see how it works. And then you have a trial run to make modifications on. If you
So moved.
Yeah, we can't vote on it, but
So
there's
if you
a
could
definitely
read that by
consensus.
consensus,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Okay, so, and apologies to Mr. Cobb and Mr. Perlmutter and Miss Denny that we went too long, that's our fault, so
John,
thank
if you're
you.
here, I'll hear you.
Yeah, we'll sit here and listen, but thank y'all very much. Thank you.
I have never seen somebody wish so badly they had left the room 5 minutes ago.
All right, meeting adjourned, thanks everybody.